welcome back to Low Energy Videos. The Content Purge has returned. Do not let the flashing, throbbing, pulsating 2 above me fool you. That's something else. Today is the 4th day of us purging. By the looks of it, we'll be done, if not tomorrow, then the day after. Because we're not doing a wasted Wednesday. We are getting drunk on Friday though. Make it count though, because we're not drinking again until the same time next month. Yeah. But today we have some Contont. And that's all we got, because I cannot sit here any more than I already have. I haven't done my run today. And I didn't really do my squats all that much. I didn't do my stretches. And I'm paying for it. I was even tempted to doing this standing up. But no. It does remind me though. I did say I was going to start doing my run on the stream again. So I'm going to have to start looking into doing that. But until then, we have tonight. Also, I've been eating nothing but oranges all day, and that was many hours ago. I'm hungry. Want to go to bed so I can get up and do my shop. So I might be a little bit out of it today. Actually reminds me, I should have taken a painkiller before going and do this. Fuck it, I'm gonna do that now. I'll pop on some music. Might not be. What am I saying? I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna be. I knew I had to get up for something. I knew it. I swear, these things are not designed for slight little pains. Unlike me, who is always a little or well-endowed pain. Speaking of well-endowed, maybe endow me with some money, likes, shares, and subscribes. Would be very cool. Particularly the money part, as that would help me towards our trip in September. Don't forget that I suppose because I'm not gaming today, I'll give you the Far Cry stream tomorrow. But don't forget also this Sunday we have the podcast with Landon. This Friday I'm going to be joined by Elf King for a drinky drink, and Monday we've got another watch party. We watched Darkman last night and it was good. I enjoyed it. Batshit movie, absolute insane. Couldn't make it today because no one will be able to keep a straight face. Yeah, that's in the Discord. You know, also check out the Twitter. Let's see how he's all doing. My walk was cut short because the park I walked to was not open for the day. Oh shit. Story of life, isn't it? You go off and do something and then it's the one day that you can't do it. Biggest thing that happened outside of my apartment today was they've got these huge trucks outside in the by the river, and they've just got these huge tubes going into them, and I think they're getting rid of all the oil that the ships did, the yachts released when the hurricane hit. Because they only recently cleaned up the last of it, but they didn't clean up the oil. And for some reason our bins, the whole street's bins, aren't getting collected. There's no strike, as far as I'm aware. And there's no, like, the whole street's paid up. But it's getting weird because this is the second time now they've passed us by. I'm getting a little bit worried. On the plus side though, the water damage in my apartment might be getting looked at pretty soon. Oh, and day 2. This is day 2 of what is to be a month-long streaming. Non-stop, well, obviously stopping, but every day I'll be streaming. Also, it's to keep my mind in check of the fact that I won't be drinking for a month. Keep myself preoccupied. To that end, I also watched another 2 episodes of The Boys. I'm on episode 5 now of season 3, I think. Episode 4, that's where I last stopped. I respect the hustle. They're moving the plot along in a way that feels realistic. Too many needles in the last episode for my liking. But that was cool. And yeah, beyond that, just been watching videos. Been getting into folding ideas. Watching his stuff, including a lot of backlog. He's a very intelligent sounding man. I like him. So today we have a lot of videos I want to watch. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of it. Don't forget that I'll also be keeping a few if I find them that I think, oh, this will be good with Krendar and our guest. I know if I find out about Elon in this massive list of stuff, it will be very, very appreciated. I think. Get rid of this. A lot of tabs open. So before I begin, there's also another thing. Not only am I not able to really sit here for as long as I wanted, but also Steve has been acting weird all day. It's been updating Crusader Kings 3, and it just slows my computer down to a crawl, and it won't let me uninstall the game. It's really, really weird. I had to install most things that I had in my... Just like this image, it's a cool image. It's They Live, but done in Streets of Rage. Works. Like, I don't know what's going on, because tomorrow we're going to be gaming. And I don't want it to be fecking up my computer. I looked online and it doesn't seem to be a very common problem. But it's problem enough for me. Anyway, I have a list here. The bookmarks up here in the corner, right? As well as all the ones you can see from here onwards. And we've been cutting into it pretty heavily for the past few days. But there's still a lot to go. Case in point, I'm going to now tell you when I start scrolling. Now, if I'm right, when we started doing this, it was 5 seconds, and we've gotten it down to 3. So, let's see. Now. Hold on. Oh, you're not doing it now? Okay. Try it again. Now. 1. Yeah, 2. A pregnant 2. I'm keeping this one for Krendar. Oh, we've actually already watched this. But let's move on to this. Hank. Always happy to start off with you, good sir. So you'll be able to hear it. Yes. And see me. Yes. Yay. There's also new Cobes stuff. I'm going to save that for Friday, because if we're going to watch Cobes and we're not going to be drunk for a long time after the fact, we best watch Cobes while drinking.
Happened to me this morning, and it is thus. I was on Twitter and I saw this tweet from Hannah Ritchie. It shows current mammal biomass. So this is the amount of mammal biomass that is people. This is the amount that is livestock, including pets. just less than 1% over there. This up here, just 4% of the total mammal biomass is all wild mammals.
I'm actually surprised there's so many of us in proportion to so many livestock,
including whales. And then I tweeted what I thought was a throwaway. This makes me wonder how much mammal biomass has increased overall since agriculture. Like, it definitely wasn't this much, but was it less or way less? And then I scrolled down and she had posted the answer in response to a different person. I had this question that I thought was unanswerable, and it turns out, one, it's been answered, and two, it's fascinating. Over here is total mammal biomass 100,000 years ago. It dropped a lot because humans killed a lot of animals in the Americas. But right now, humans alone are...
Horses and camels evolved in North America first. Or at least earlier than it seems they did in other spots. And they went over to the Bering Straits. But the humans that lived in Northern America killed off camels and horses as food before they learned how to domesticate them. It would have been very different if the reverse happened.
3 times more biomass than all mammals on Earth 100,000 years ago. That's fucking wild!
You have to wonder about all the other biomass, though. Compare that to mammals. I would imagine just plant life alone would outnumber us. Evil to the bone. Okay, let's see what this is. Ooh. It's Pimp Monk! Hiya, Pimp.
I'm gonna say that this person's from the pits of hell, because if you can do that and not even flinch, something wrong with your ass. You is evil to your bones, and I don't want to be a friend.
Oh, come on. You said I was evil. I was a Scottish demon first time we ever met. And now I'm your friend. Oh, I'd like to think I'm your friend. He'd use me as a human shield. Which is almost like friendship. And he did react. He does a whole slurp thing. He has to acknowledge the heat. Look, he bites into it. But it really works. Yeah, you can hear him. Like, he acknowledges there's heat. It's just that he's able to maintain that composure a little better than most. Guaranteed, the second the video's off, he just spits that shit out. It's a waste. So that is some charred fucking meat. Speaking of food, as I've been eating a lot of tuna and trying to watch my weight, which has been going great so far, by the way, Jesus. I think it's I don't know. I found myself down one of these rabbit holes, and yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Dense muscle meat is elk. The most nutrient dense organ meat is liver.
Okay, can't get elk over here. Liver. Oh, I hate the taste of liver, and I hate the smell of liver. My dad used to make that shit. Not for me. Not for me ma. Not for any of our guests. Just for him. He used to love it, liver and onions. And the smell of it. Heart, too. He used to make heart for the dogs. And he'd also make it for himself.
The most nutrient-dense fruit are strawberries.
That's
the
cool.
most nutrient-dense vegetable is watercress.
Didn't
the most
know that.
nutrient-dense nut are Brazil nuts.
I knew that.
The most nutrient-dense seed are flaxseed.
I think
The most nutrient-dense herb is parsley.
That's...
The most
Who's getting their nutrients from their fucking herbs?
nutrient-dense fish is salmon.
That's not entirely true. Because I've seen people say salmon and I've seen people say tuna. So which is it? Like, if you get the same amount of weight of salmon and the same amount of weight of tuna, which would come out more? And I know tuna tends to be preserved more often. For the record, I'd have either. I love the texture of tuna. I love the taste of tuna. Salmon, fewer people seem to like it, which is weird because salmon is really, really good. Yeah, and some people can't stand seafood at all, so, you know. To each their own. I think it's...
And the most nutrient-dense shellfish are oysters.
Again, I didn't know that about the oysters. I would have said something like crab or something like that. Lobster. But, wait, did he say watercress is...
Nutrient-dense vegetable is watercress.
Really? I would have thought potato. You can fucking charge a light with that potato. More you know. Maybe I should pick up some watercress tomorrow. I'll bloody need it. I've eaten these tiny tangerines today, and I had a tin of, get this, I had a tin of chickpeas. So I had that with a sprig of vinegar. Spritz of vinegar, a little splash of vinegar. And you know what? Tangy. Also, not filling. I mean, and now I have nothing for hours except for coffee and tea and water. Well, this is the thing. Like, I do this to myself. I'll be doing this on Thursday as well. Different foods, but still.
Cactus farms exist. They produce fruit that pop out just like a popsicle.
Looks
Each
nice.
cactus is harvested 1 year after planting, and wherever you see a brown scar, fruit will never grow back there. The fruit is called a prickly pear and tastes like a mix of watermelon and bubblegum. Surprisingly, they are very heavy, as one plant can hold up to 200 gallons of water.
Yeah.
But what about the cactus leaves? They're not even called leaves because of how menacing they look. They're actually called pads.
Menacing? No, because they don't look like leaves. They look like...
Or nopals, and they can be used in some of your
Almost
favorite
like
dishes,
fronds as
even
well.
tacos. Would you give this a try?
Of course I give it a try. Give most foods a try right now. I'm fucking starving. Alright, because we have so little left in comparison to where we were, I'm just gonna start picking and mixing around them. Oh yeah, we gotta look at that on Friday, Jesus. He was standing too close. Oh, Daily Dose? Okay, cool. Oh dear.
Oh, damn.
I think he was standing a little too close.
This is when it hits him. Not the water, that's a few seconds later, but this is where he's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be, maybe I should have gotten like an umbrella or something.
Oh, damn.
Yep. Wop wop. Ooh. The Japanese call this interlocking hell.
Bakery shop, and it's designed by one of my favorite architects, Kengo Kuno. This is a Japanese joint system called Shigokugumi, and it directly translates into interlocking hell. The name comes from not just the complexity and difficulty of this technique,
That's an accent.
but also because once you put the pieces together, it's almost impossible to disassemble. It's a technique that's been passed down from craftsman to craftsman, where you interlock hundreds of wood pieces using almost no nails. And you can see this in some of Japan's oldest structures, but here it's a modern interpretation. First of all, the pieces are locked in a 30 or 60 degree angle, and it uses this lattice work to clad the entire 3-story structure. And when you enter, you get this beautiful light filtering through the cracks. It feels warm and intimate, and you can kind of smell the wood as well.
I bloody well think so, considering it's like a giant wicker basket. And this is a bakery? Oh god, you can imagine how expensive some of the shit in there would be.
It's quite beautiful. You can
Pretty.
sit here with your tea and your pineapple cake, and you watch the shadows go by.
Look at this shit. Like,
It's
I want to know more about what
You can
she's
sit
eating.
here
God,
with
I'm
your
hungry.
tea and your pineapple cake.
Look, she's got little monkey wafers in what looks like, I'm guessing that's tea, but if she told me that was soup, I'd be like, alright. Alright, something that's not food. Chicano English. Oh yeah, the Linga otter. I have to say the Chicano logo, I've seen this before, but it looks very fascist.
Man, I don't know what to think no more, man.
Now, what are some unique features of Chicano English? Probably the most noticeable one is the rhythm at which it is spoken. English is a stress time language, while Spanish is a syllable time language. I can explain the difference between the two in another video, but basically Chicano English has the rhythm that is in between English and Spanish. For example, I was going to the park because. Another feature is that Chicano English turns the Z's into S's. So rather than saying things or was, you might hear things, was. Next, Chicano English tends to not reduce vowels, which basically just means that they fully pronounce vowels.
Honestly, the way he's describing it sounds more like a speech impediment.
For example, rather than saying because, one might say because. A person speaking Chicano English might say today rather than today, and they might say together rather than together. One last feature I want to talk about is one that started in Chicano English but has since spread to other California dialects. This is the ing ending on verbs. Rather than saying dancing, one might say dancing. So rather than saying it as ing, they might say it as ing. Let's talk about Chicano English.
Damn, need to find somebody who's from California who's not Chicano and see if that's true or not. Ranking My People. Ooh, it's a comedy. Hopefully it's not I'll find out right quick. Oh, okay. I don't know where this is going.
Different subgenres of white people. Up first and certainly...
Oh, good. I was worried that this would be racist.
A very important class of Caucasian is the lake white. Close relative of the dirt bike white, these people appear to be fun and friendly, often shooting off fireworks and water skiing. But they also seem to have a dark streak in them that comes out when you ask them about politics while they're a few beers deep out on a pontoon boat. And they will also get way too drunk to operate heavy machinery, get behind the wheel of a boat, and then tug children around on a tube going 70 miles per hour. So
yeah, that's basically everyone around these parts. There's nothing illegal about getting on a boat out here while drunk. You can be absolutely smashed and drive all those boats around there, and there's almost never any crashing. All that damage out there was due to a hurricane, not due to drunk sailing.
4 out of 10. Up next, we have the finished basement white. This subsect of Caucasians is a coin flip. You will either be spending your weekends getting drunk with their son in their basement while their parents don't really care, or you'll be spending an entire sleepover only eating water and almonds because they suck so much. So 5 out of 10. And finally,
I like almonds.
Of my favorite subgenres, we have the Miss Frizzle whites. Miss Frizzle whites can be any gender as long as they fit the parameters. Strange, eclectic whites with questionable taste, but big and loving personalities. They will always give you their tie-dye
fun uncle whites, basically.
shirt off their back if you need it, and you can count on them to bring an unorthodox but delicious dessert to the potluck. 8 out of 10. Ranking.
Yeah, they're the quirky, crazy inventor, even if they don't invent anything. There's so much to go for, but I have very little context for a lot of what I'm looking at here. There are only 2 employees at this DC restaurant. Okay. Oh, yeah, I remember this one.
2 of us. Probably will always be just the 2 of us. This is our 10th year. It's a simple place that we're trying to keep as simple as possible.
It's all just
That's when it's good.
tonight.
When it's simple, it's good.
We don't make any decisions here that we're not both on board with. We just will not do like a one for you, one for me thing. So like, I think it makes the place kind of a perfect representation of what we like. We make sausage, we make ham, we make bacon.
It's not we two are the face and then there's like the sea of people behind us. Like we literally do everything. Like we're scrubbing dishes. We're together 24/7, you know, like our dynamic is very rare.
It was an obsession before we opened, but like as time goes on, I think it's become even more.
They seem very chill. Like they'll invite you back to their place for a joint, and then instead of watching something, they'll turn the TV on only to turn on like their music playlist, and then they'll just talk about the band for like 8 hours, occasionally sprinkling it with hey, do you want to play a game of like Uno or some shit? Very
more of
chill.
an obsession, because there's no way you can't be obsessive about this and stay in business.
We wake up thinking about this place and we go to sleep thinking about this place, but not in a bad way, in a good way. You know, like, I'm proud of this place.
Jesus, so that was Magicus there for a second.
Me too.
Yeah.
What is Meats and Foods?
Awesome. Keep chill. How would you get caught? Oh yeah, this dude.
That hard to be a serial killer, just killing for sport, then getting rid of the bodies. Yeah, the world is so big and open. Why not dump the bodies in the ocean? But every single one keeps the bodies in the freezer. What a bad place.
Now some keep in a vat in their. Some keep them in a vat of acid in their garage, and people won't notice it, even though how many people have vats of acid in their garage? Also around these parts, make friends with the pig farmers, you know?
For me, and nice and baby cheese, but where will you put that if it's full of crime stuff?
The crime stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, you don't want room temperature cheese. What are you, fucking monster? No, you want to be a serial killer, that's fine. You know, taxidermy that shit. Get creative. Oh, the election in the UK is around on the 4th. So I won't be able to be angry at the Conservatives anymore because they're going to lose.
Of British political parties, and today we're cooking up the Conservative Party's favourite, the privatised pie. Much like the Tories, this dish requires you to fend for yourself. We'll provide you with all the overpriced, separately packaged ingredients and get you to figure out how to assemble it, just like navigating the privatised sectors of our once great public services. These include some prime cuts of austerity beef, a dash of market deregulation, and a splash of trickle-down gravy. Assemble it all yourself, because much like the NHS, help is not on the way.
Yep.
The result, a pie that's half-baked.
They've been spending the past few years destroying the NHS in turning it into something closer to the American system. It's still better than the American system, but there's lots of loopholes. They're also removing other benefits, and then they turn around and say, look how great the economy's expanded. Yeah, the economy expanded because you got rid of all the people's, you know, safety nets. The economy isn't expanding for the average person. That's why you're going to lose the fucking election. Which is great, because they've been in office since Blair. Well, actually, since Gordon Brown. It was Blair, then it was Gordon Brown. And now it was David Cameron for a good amount of time. Then it was Theresa May. And it was Boris Johnson. Then it was the guy who's going to be leaving this week, Sunak. And it's silly. It's silly. This whole system is silly. No one wants the Conservatives anymore. If you want to go full right wing, the Reform Party is basically mask off at this point. And even the Labour Party is getting a little bit on the old centralist. Starmer saying trans people don't count like as a valid gender. Like and they don't give a shit about that. They're just doing that to get votes. They're reaching out across the aisles. And as for the more leftist parties like the Lib Dems and the Greens, they've been jokes since the 90s. So yeah. Fuck. Oh, hi Troy, good to see you. Hope the day hasn't been too bad. It won't be a very long one today. my back can't handle it, and as I said, Steam has been acting up, so I can't really play Far Cry today. It should be resolved by tomorrow, I think. But yeah, fuck. At the plus side, it will be great to see the Conservative Party getting the boot. Everything smells like lemons here because I finally, after way too long, I cleaned my desk, like proper cleaning, scrubbed it. I didn't put varnish on or anything, which is stupid of me. I don't think we have any varnish. But it smells lovely and looks so nice. Oh, I should have shown a before and after picture. Holy shit, this thing was quite foul.
Tastes like poo, much like
it looked like poo too.
Of their policies. So dig in, stiffen that upper lip, and enjoy the taste of self-reliance. Bon appetit, or should I say, how dare you complain, you filthy little prole? Just work your grueling job and don't even think about asking for affordable housing. I'm making the.
I like his shirts. He's always complaining as a joke about his landlord, so I think he's actually like struggling at times for money. Americans need to address the emotional problems of society. Well, that's true. Oh, yeah, Fredo, I remember this one. Jesus.
Good lord, boy, that sounds like a Looney Tunes gunfight. You know you desensitized to the nonsense when the first thing that comes to your mind in a situation like this is, boy, what is they shoot?
I love how he it's even worse than he thinks. The nonsense? I would think those were like added in afterwards as special effects. If I heard this in real life, I've heard gunshots, but I saw someone get shot before. But I've never heard like shit like that. If that was the case, I'd be like, I actually don't know what I'd be like. It'd be so unusual to me. I don't know how I'd handle it. If I saw someone running around with a fucking machine gun, like firing into the air or aiming it at someone, doesn't have to be me. I probably wouldn't be having a good time.
Y'all got an unusual arsenal of weaponry, fam. Y'all not even supposed to have stuff like that. Like, what could have happened at a swimming pool?
Oh, no. He was saying a piece. I shouldn't have done that.
Good lord, boy, that sounds like a Looney Tunes gunfight. You know you desensitized to the nonsense when the first thing that comes to your mind in a situation like this is, boy, what is they shoot? Y'all got an unusual arsenal of weaponry, fam. Y'all not even supposed to have stuff like that. Like, what could have happened at a swimming pool that have made you pull out a switch, fam? A switch? You pull out a switch at a pool, you probably can't even swim, and you know how to. Come on, dog. It's not cool, man. I know nobody want to say it because it ain't popular. You know, you ain't gonna be gangster if you ain't shooting somebody because you done got upset. But shoot the hands. Do that. Y'all box. Put the gloves on. Box. Shake hands after go on about y'all business, bro. Yeah. Y'all probably done shot 42 innocent people that's down the street that ain't even the ones you aiming at. Like, y'all don't even go to the range to practice. Like, come on, fam. Y'all gotta do better, bro.
Truth. Hard to believe, but I'm not an idiot. Okay, what's all this about?
If it was a younger lamb, like
Oh, she's getting called out by someone who's saying that she's leaving her lambs alone and shit like that, and she's like, "Fuck you." Breaks down what she does.
I would never put a lamb out in the middle of nowhere without its mother. What the heck is wrong with this woman? Well, babe, it's lucky you raise sheep. So you'd know that that lamb in that video was probably a month and a bit old. As you can tell from the lamb having shoulders like the fucking Hulk. If that lamb just came out of a ewe, she would be ripped from breakfast to dinner. When me and my sister used to come out to the farm, we'd always want pet lambs. And Dad always would say, if you can catch that lamb, you can keep it. And the joke was that when lambs are about that big, you will not fucking catch them.
Yeah. There's around about twice a year, there's tons of lambs around here. And skittish is an understatement. They will fucking bolt. Older sheep, they're fine. I think they get all their energy out of the way when they're babies. and they're just kind of just vibing, but the lambs will just go, they'll just fly about the place. And if they're not sure of you, you aren't getting anywhere near them. Like, I always thought that in the Rocky movie where he has to go and grab the rooster, that's stupid. He needs to be grabbing fucking sheep.
Hence the fact I could just put it near the ewes, like I could just put it here at the edge of these ewes, it'll go find its mum. If it was a younger lamb, like the orphan lambs I'm raising at
They're all shaking and confused.
home, then absolutely. I wouldn't have just let it go out in the paddock near some sheep. However, you already know this because you've raised sheep. I used to
The sipping tea and throwing shade. So much others. Pick this one. The teachers pretend to be students. This is great.
Huh? Got a jacket on. My mama see me walk out the house like this. What you said? I couldn't hear you. My headphones on.
It's turned off.
Oh God.
Oh God. In all fairness, I kind of ran like that when I was that age.
Oh God.
I like all the TV screens everywhere in your fucking schools. Like, Jesus.
My teacher said I could be out here.
Stop. Ladies, pay attention. We're taking notes. Can you
Hold
look
on,
up here?
I just gotta get this done. Just hold on, real quick.
I'm about to move on to the next slide. It's for your exam.
Gosh, all right. Yeah.
Oh, my mama ain't doing no work today. On phone.
A young Shabisky there.
Hi guys, put your cell phone in the bucket. Mickey, una pasa más rápido. Ándale. Oh my God. Wait.
When I, what the fuck?
It's my mom's texting. It's my mom.
Whenever I hear about those people who pretend to be students and they act like teenagers and shit, I think, how the fuck did like a 30-year-old woman like pretend to be a student for a few months? But yeah, you just need a lot of baggy clothes. You need to boy max, basically. If you know anything about trans people, they often overcompensate with being a dude by like wearing hoodies and shit. Like overly baggy clothes that hides 90% of them. Very, very twink-esque. Do that, and you can be like approaching your pension year and probably get away with it for a month. Which is usually so many people in a school, no one gives a fuck. I remember my school had 1,000 people in it. Some schools in America would dwarf that. I'm sure there was some people there who probably didn't have any right to be there. Alright, this is interesting. Cheapest ryokan hotel, which I used to know the meaning of that, but this is in Kyoto.
Cheapest ryokan in Kyoto? I'm gonna tell you guys up front. This was the coolest hotel experience I've ever had. In this small traditional Japanese buildings with only maybe 5 or 6 available rooms, every suite will have its very own private bathroom, including a heated toilet seat. And now for sleeping, you'll be in a traditional Japanese tatami bedroom. In here you get your own tea set and also information on how to access their private onsen bath. When you wake up the next morning, the owners will make you a traditional Japanese breakfast and also give you a Polaroid and Japanese coasters to commemorate your stay. Altogether, it's
a Polaroid. Hell yeah. And 50 a night. Jesus. The inn up there, you can get rooms off season for as low as 25 a night. That doesn't include breakfast. And the rooms would be they'd be very similar actually to my room, in fact. because when they were renovating this whole village, they used one construction company to build all the more modern buildings, and that includes these estates. Oh, a fire truck just went by, and I'm still a kid at heart. Fire truck, yay! But I've seen inside those rooms, and they're basically just a small version of this. They have a TV up on the wall, something that this place doesn't have. I noticed. I always like the hotel TVs. Oh wait, no, I take it back. Is that
Japanese breakfast? When you wake up the next tea set, no heated toilet seat. And now for sleeping, you'll be in a traditional Japanese tatami bedroom. In here you get your own tea set, no
tea set, which we do too. We got the when you go to a hotel, like a bog standard hotel, you've got the little tray that has a kettle and some milk satchels and coffee and tea and sugar and the little biscotti things, maybe next to like a brochure of the local area. It's the same probably world over. The hotel I'm going to, not in America, but I've been booking off. I've been pre-booking off a lot of hotels over the past few weeks for mostly next year. No way in hell I am going after America. I'm not going anywhere further afield than up to Carrick for a drink. You know what? This year I'm gonna try to go out for New Year's Eve up in Carrick. I'll have a decent look about me. If I'm still hanging out with Feel Good and their friends, maybe we can all go out together for New Year's Eve. And I'd have been saving so much at that point because I'm restructuring my money. Like I'd want to be going out and enjoying myself, but in January I've got Dublin for my birthday. February I've got Dublin for a gig and to hang out with some friends. March, Paddy's Day, I'm off to Cork for St. Patrick's Day. So expect a video and some streams out of that. Not that you wouldn't get streams out of the other two stuff as well. And then in May is my friend Claire's wedding up in Belfast. That's a lovely hotel I booked into. Like in the middle of a golf course. Jesus, that's going to be a bitch to get into. And none of these are cheap. So I have to pay them all off before the end of the new year. Doable if this month pans out. One reason I've got that number flashing overhead. We're almost at day 3 now. It does basically turn me into a shut-in, but hey, at least I'm not like Cobes and getting drunk every day. Who'd want that? I've never done that before, especially not on stream. I'll enjoy Wednesday. I'll enjoy Friday, but yeah, I'd like to think that me constantly getting drunk every day on stream, those are like a distant past. I've been easing off the booze. This will be my biggest ease off yet. But yeah, that's a pretty cool hotel, and I would really like to go. I'd really like to go to somewhere like that. Except for the bed. The tatami beds on my back. Ooh. Anyway.
Is claiming to be an Irishman. He's a quarter Irish. Apparently his grandfather was a Limerick man. Andrew, the Irish people have received your application to be considered.
He's technically English, so I'm guessing he tries to overlap with that as well. Oh, Russell Crowe's in Ireland right now.
An Irishman, and we are not claiming you.
No.
We feel you don't align with our brand, so fuck off, please. Thank you. He also
Increasingly
wants to
he
move
is.
to Ireland
There's a
once
lot
he's
of-
out of Romania. Andrew, I'm afraid that simply won't be possible. The airport is broken. There's roadworks on in it, and they'll be going on for a good while. Once he gets to Ireland, he wants to fund and raise awareness for all those brave people saving their nation from being invaded.
By Andrew Tate. Andrew, who is not actually even white. But that's the thing about Andrew Tate, like he's not actually like even Caucasian. But then again, I recently saw that Genoa News, who's been talking about like the anti-immigration push, the guy was caught, and he's from Cambodia. It's like all those Hispanic guys being like the biggest white nationalist defender motherfuckers. It's so. Why? Why? I mean, the very concept of like white nationalism, or hell, even black nationalism. You want to go to Africa and see how they fucking treat each other. It's all fucking dog shit. It's all literal atomization and tribalism all the way down in every country on earth, and usually even inside countries between each other. You got a lot of people there, even in America. You've got that divide between the city folk and you know, fucking hayseeds, country bumpkins. That's been going on for ages, and it's light, but it's not too far separation between light and heavy discrimination.
Sounds like Andrew wants to fund the 1916 Rising. Andrew, I'm afraid you're about 100 years too late to spearhead Irish independence. The potatoes have grown back. The English are mostly gone. We just kept the ones we need. Leave us the fuck alone and follow me. I'm delicious. Andrew Tate is claiming to be an Irishman. He's a quarter Irish. Apparently his grandfather was a Limerick man.
I'm not sure this is possible. Oh, he makes... This guy looks like someone I hung out with in America one time. And he is American if I'm right, so... There's a chance I've met this dude.
Nerf Blaster lethal. First upgrade for this one is just took the air restrictors out. Next one, air restrictors out, new barrel, and new spring, and more lube. Next we got brass barrel, new spring, new plunger tube, no air restrictors, more lube.
It's giving me a pipe gun vibe from Fallout.
It's pretty good. Still not lethal. And then there's this thing. Longer barrel, longer plunger tube, and they got 4 springs in there.
Heard that one.
I've tried to avoid modifying the dart because then it's not Nerf anymore. But maybe I will. Who cares?
I just think he got really stoned and was like, could I make Nerf guns lethal? And yeah, I mean, as he said, he could just alter the Nerf dart to have something in it. What about those guns that have like the little toys that have like the sticky when it fires out? It sometimes has a Nerf pin, but it has like a suction cup on it and it sticks to you. I wonder if you could turn them lethal. My child's darker skin. Is my wife cheating on me? Oh, this will be fun.
Obviously referring to the fact that my daughter has a darker skin tone than Alright, so this person says, who wants to tell him? Obviously referring to the fact that my daughter has a darker skin tone than I do.
He looks a little bit like Joshua Furstein.
They're absolutely crazy. I probably have some black ancestors along the way somewhere, which is most likely why she came out a little bit darker than me.
True.
I don't know. Babe, what do you think?
I like the idea of her being told, hey, hun, when I ask, could you just turn and look at the camera real quick? Sure, what's it for? Oh, I'm just making a little TikTok thing. Oh, is it, what's the theme? Ah, it's not a big deal. Yeah. I wonder how many people saw that and immediately hoped he was getting cuckolded. Because sometimes people's sexual preferences come out a little too obvious. I saw on, I'm not showing this on stream, but someone on Twitter was showing this other person on Twitter who's like he's one of those sort of like, out in Japan, there's a more traditional idea of what a woman should be. But he's like an English guy who went out there and doesn't know the language. So he just went out to a foreign country and never bothered to learn the language. But he was complaining about, they've changed, they've stopped having children to have the swimsuit. The one-piece ugly bathing suit thing that you'll usually see in anime and other things like anime, but not anime. And he was complaining, first of all, he was complaining that it was a part of the woke agenda, right? I forget his logic behind it. But then he also said it will make it harder for waifus to exist. Whenever you see an anime character dressed as that, they're usually very underage. He also doesn't have a kid. So he's obsessing over children's swimsuits. It's very old sussy wussy, you know? Sometimes people self-report. I mean, that's why I always wear, not all my fetishes, but a good chunk of my fetishes on my sleeve. I've got the fetish. It's like the joke from the producers, you know, show to the IRS, never show to the IRS. Talk to Chad about these, never talk to Chad about these. Talk to maybe some guests after the show and see if they're into it or not. But you know, oh well, we have to show this. We have to show this. Crab people. UK political party plates.
The favourite dishes of British political parties, and today I'm making the Crab People's Party Feast of Fancy, which has been declared by the Crab People as anything you want, as long as you vote for our new Crimson Clawed Crustacean Overlords, and hand over the keys to Buckingham Palace. The Crab People demand our obedience, and I for one welcome them to rule over Old Blighty with a Poseidon-like grip over our lives. They care not about immigration or the economy and only ask for the flesh of our firstborns and guarantee us a life full of glory and pleasure, because after 15 years under Tory rule, this seems like the best option. So when the day comes to exercise your democratic right, join me in evolving into our true and final form and vote for the Crab People's Party, because what we eat will no longer matter anyway. We'll all be dining on delicious, delicious algae.
Crab people, crab people. It will make you a metrosexual. I actually want there to be an actual video, not just these little shorts. I don't know which are, because shorts don't show up on the icons the same as they show up the exact same way as a video. So I'm sure I've got some videos in this list, but I can't really tell. Guess we just keep going through. This is cool.
We interrupt this out-of-copyright cartoon to bring you an ominous news broadcast in the background of another scene. Sinister bulletins have been reported on billboards, dive bar radios, and in the windows of television stores. As the goose embargo enters its third week, world leaders are adamant that they will not negotiate with the goose. At home, rioting continues in our nation's capital, whilst presidential hopeful Xavier Thunderdome prepares for the annual Peace Day celebrations. We now go live to Beef Cox, who is standing outside. I'm standing outside. Thank you, Beef. Scientists say that's too much geese. In lighter news, Igardo, the world's greatest hacker, has not escaped from his moon prison. Has escaped from his moon prison. I'm Shank Hastily. Good night.
Well, to be entirely honest with you, he shouldn't have been put in the moon prison anyway. He should have been put in the prison inside the moon. Because then there's an extra layer to it. Literally, it's the moon. We never get those sort of establishing. We never get those Roland Emmerich sort of disaster films anymore. I think the post 9/11 climate change era is kind of gone now. At least until we get something like. I always thought, what was the name of the show? Oh, the fucking show. Walking Dead should have had opening scenes like that. Because The Last of Us, the world falls apart too quickly for there to be like that sort of response. Also, I know 28 Years Later is coming out pretty soon. I'm wondering if we're going to have a TV show or a movie about that. Baby seal drags pants. Oh, this is sad, but it's also good because it's okay. So this is from Ocean Conservation Nami? Okay.
No. Seems to be tied to a jacket or pants.
What is that?
I'm not gonna help you, buddy. You're quite
I've got to
strong.
turn the light on.
I know her neck. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Step 2. Done. Really should be a 2-man job today, but
That thing's not having that. Jesus.
oh, there's 3 of these ropes.
Poor little baby.
No.
They think they're gonna get eaten.
Okay, I seem to roll off you. I'm sorry, I know you like those pants. Don't need them anymore.
Yep, less than 10% of entanglements in marine litter are estimated to be witnessed and reported. Yeah, right now there's some poor animal in the ocean being strangled to death by a plastic bag. If I remember right, turtles can, the ones that go after jellyfish, they'll often try to eat a plastic bag thinking that it's a jellyfish and just choke to death. Yeah, we're horrible. We are absolutely horrible. Nature, however, is cool because it doesn't give a fuck. Not a lake, but an optical illusion. That I'd like to do something like that. If the sand was smooth enough, if the dune was smooth enough. I've been on dunes before out in Fuerteventura, and those fuckers are a nightmare to climb up. I actually was there when they were hosting the it was like the sandboarding, the world championship sandboarding, but a few years later they started doing extreme ironing, which is still going on to this day. If you don't know what extreme ironing is, I'll actually, yeah, I'll show it. Okay. Optical illusion or not, you're gonna die long before you reach it, apparently. Yep. His rocks. Like, Salt Lake. Yeah. Basically, you try to iron as much as possible while also doing crazy ass shit. Your board is also your ironing board.
God save our gracious green God.
Oh, that's some shit. No, ooh. That's some shit ironing efforts right there. Nah. The one I saw was there was like 8 of them, and they were all rushing up the side of a dune. And when they were at the top of it, they broke out the irons, and then they had to iron the clothes as quickly as possible. And then they flipped the ironing board on its back, got on top of it, and then they boogie boarded down the side of the dune. And whoever got there at the end won. I'm guessing Extreme Ironing doesn't have that much in the way of rules. I'm now wondering if there's Extreme Ironing version where it's in you're being flung out of an airplane and you have to do the ironing while you're in the sky. That would be kind of cool. Sponsored by... Oh, I thought it was sponsored by Daz, but it's sponsored by Dash. Who fucking gives a fuck about Dash? Be some Daz. What was the other one? Purcell or something? I don't know. Oh, I know in America you guys got Bold. We don't have Bold over here. We're guys, you know, funny dirt. Okay. Oh, of course, yes. This is I remember this. This is a very important song about the most important person in the world for all us true red-blooded the dirt if you don't give him dirt. It's an odd system. I've always thought it was strange because he'll punish you if you don't give him dirt by turning you into dirt. Either way, he's getting dirt out of the equation. But you don't need to give him that much dirt. If you just give him like a small handful of dirt, then the dirt man doesn't show up, right? Or rather, he doesn't punish you. He doesn't reward you either, but no one wants to be turned into dirt. So, you're there, you know, like, you would be giving him so much more dirt with your body, because it is a 1-to-1 ratio. So, I don't think it's the quantity, and most likely not the quality of the dirt. So he's doing it for another reason whatsoever. And I think that, much like all economies, it is completely arbitrary and artificial. He doesn't need the dirt. He wants the dirt, and he wants you to participate in the dirt economy. Now, this is why we need a dirt communism, also known as me, I guess. Oh, the dirt man. Oh, well, seeing the Pride's over, we have to come in. We have to come in fashionably late, of course, and talk about Pride real quick.
We are so back with a food review. I've seen an alarming amount of fake-ass men's mental health activists attempt to put men's mental health at the center of this month while being extremely homophobic in the process, and that's obviously really dumb. I'm a fan of both Men's Mental Health Month and Pride. I think that they can both take place during June, and there's a lot of intersection between these two topics. Queer men exist, and queer folks harm themselves at higher...
Apparently some exist. Most queer people I know are usually in miniskirts and haven't decided on their gender yet.
rates than straight folks. So if you're one of these activists, it's safe to say that you don't actually care about all men's mental health. Y'all are like the Tim Robinson hot dog sketch. We're all trying to find the guy who did this. We need to look at the world through the lens of history and hierarchy. This is one of many consequences of men crafting a historically exclusionary society. Having power does not always equal having happiness, and masculinity has been a prison since long before Pride Month.
Yeah, toxic masculinity hurts everyone. Just like fascism, which the two overlap a lot. Hey, look at Andrew Tate, the most masculine alpha man in the world. He's not having a good time, is he? And every time he would like flex, it would never be to enjoy himself. It would always be to make the rest of to try to make other people look bad. Whenever he talked about all the women he'd have sex with, all the money that he has, all the cars that he has, all the celebrities he hangs out with, it's always to make other people feel bad. He's not doing it for the sake of fun. If he was having fun, he would be like out on some private reserve firing like a World War II anti-aircraft gun into the air while girls pour him shots of like incredibly expensive liqueurs while a world-class chef is preparing a multi-steak meal for him in a hot tub. And then they all, I don't know, watch every, they watch every, I don't know. It's just every Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, even the bad ones, until the sun comes up. Right, and then they repeat the process after a healthy walk with their numerous dogs and a horse. Now, Ken out of fucking Barbie was having more fun than Andrew Tate with his wealth and power, and it's just not. They're not happy. They're not happy even when other people are suffering. The best they can hope for is this sense of like, this that still doesn't bring them the joy that they want. Now, that's not to say that women don't suffer under masculinity too. They suffer a lot. Everyone suffers, and it's not equal. Women suffer way more than men, but yeah, that's why like mental health month for men is a good idea. But, you know, you can have both. You deserve to have both, and more besides. You know, I'm sure last month was also something else month. Maybe quadriplegic awareness. Owl month. You gotta remember the owls. Make sure that they have the barn owls have plenty of nice places to roost. It's just, it doesn't have to be an and or, you know?
Not because people are now nice to gay people. It's because of gender roles that make men miserable that will get worse with more homophobia. You are not going to solve men's issues by refusing to look within and continuing legacies that dug us into this hole to begin with. Go to therapy. I give that a 10 out of 10.
A lot of them don't want to have therapy because they see therapy as like horrible, because they're going to be asked questions that they don't want, and they also, or else they've been bought into like the man's manosphere with of course all the bullshit that they don't want therapists to talk to. It's a cult. It's another cult. Same with Scientology. Hell, I'm watching The Boys right now, and what was the name of the cult in that? It was like the Church of Creationism or something like that. The Temple of the Creationist. They outright state like therapy is this bad thing for you. Nope, it's obviously meant to be Scientology and the Latter-day Saints. Well, they're only saying that because therapists will be like, yeah, you gotta get the fuck out of there, buddy. It's bad for you. It's very bad for you. Therapy can have its problems too, but I'm so glad I went to therapy a few years ago. It gives so much context, and need it. You need it in your life. You don't need Andrew Tate. You don't need the what is it? The What If or the What Is podcast or whatever. You need my podcast though every Sunday with Krendar.
Meth made me a cross-dresser a little over a year ago.
And some of you need meth.
I had kind of fell into smoking dope and started like having these thoughts of like what I'd look like as a girl and shit like that. So I started ordering dresses and bras on Amazon and trying stuff out. And here I am a year later. I cross-dress every day. Like anytime I'm at home, I'm basically cross-dressed.
Why do you think it was meth that made you want to cross-dress?
You know, I have no idea. I've spent so many nights and
Coward.
days thinking about this, but it's
Excuse.
definitely changed my life in quite a bit of ways. It gives me a lot of comfort and makes me feel good and happy and stuff, man.
And how old are you?
I am 34, I think, 34, 35.
Well, good for you, man. I'm glad that you found something that makes you happy. The cross-dressing, not the meth. Maybe not the meth.
Don't smoke meth.
Yeah, don't smoke meth, because even if it helped that person come out as a cross-dresser, it's not really worth it. I'm sure there were healthier ways for them to come to the conclusion that they like to wear high heels, you know? Like, I don't know, maybe they could ask themselves, hey, how do you think I'd look in high heels? As for me, I love men's clothes, except for the lack of variety. It's all just suits and shirts and all that shit. It's why I said to Raisin when we had her on last, you know, give me that multicolored flamboyant shit. Give me a dashiki. You know, give me some fucking robes. I'm in my bathrobe. That's a good start. Where's my kimono that like slowly moves as I walk? So there's like an image of like a dragon or a crane slowly moving across my body. Oh, that's some cyberpunk shit. I want that. And it's doable in modern day technology with incredible ease, I imagine, too. I was like those shirts that's tied into your sound system. So when they, like for a DJ, when they're kind of up on stage doing like, doo, 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 you can see like the sound balancing moving across their chest. Or for a while, everyone used to have those things, well, not everyone, but a good chunk of people had those things that either on a hat or on their chest would like play out like a ticker, like a little tiny like message across. I'd be down for that. I'd definitely be down for that. I don't know what I'd have chat decide on what would be said, you know? Oh, this is wild, and I did check. We are safe. Unicho Ari, a candidate for the Tokyo gubernatorial race, strips during her official public television speech, asking viewers if they thought she was sexy. She asked him to add her as a friend on message app Line and pledged to respond to everyone. Now, why can't AOC do this? It would make that Ben Garrison guy very happy.
そんな目で見ないで。うちの愛理、そろそろ覚えた？内外のうち。
She's basically just, yeah, I have no idea what she's saying, but she's not even properly stripped. You can see that she's got a big old like tube top on. But I suppose in Japan, that would be enough. That's not even the only thing from this electoral race in Tokyo I have. There's another one from a dude, but I can't see it here. I know it's around somewhere. But basically what happens is this guy, he's on a busy train and he's got no shirt on and he asks people to judo chop his chest. This will definitely help people vote for you, I guess. Oh shit, yeah, the new episodes of The Bear are out. I have to go and watch that. Here's another thing about Japan that isn't about the one. And shockingly, she's not Irish. She looks a little bit like she's going to be go into a cosplay thing, though. Not sure for what.
Things I love and hate working at a Japanese school. Probably the worst part is the salary, because you have to be a native English speaker and have a degree, and the yen's value is only getting worse right now. So even my students knew it's not exactly the perfect job. On the other,
if I were a teacher, I would. What's he say here?
even my students knew.
If I were rich, I would
It's
buy a
not
car
exactly-
because can't read that. If I was a teacher, I would boycott because salary is low. If I were sick, I would not go to school because I want
The
to
perfect job. On the other
play games.
hand, the students are definitely the highlight, because I know I don't have what it takes to be a teacher in America, but the students here are honestly so respectful and funny, whether it's drawing anime Jesus or using some questionable catchphrases. They are great.
Kick in the balls.
But you know what's not so great? The textbooks they use here. Some of the English they were teaching was questionable at best. And I'm gonna be so completely real, it's even more questionable some of the things that they're not taught about history. But
That's a very polite way of saying that they don't know about the rape of Nanking and all the horrible things that they did in Japan. Well, all the they did in China and Southeast Asia and Burma, and Korea, the islands. Yeah, the Japanese, the Germans are taught. The Germans and the Italians are taught about their role in World War II, but they've skewered the narrative a little bit. It was a clique of bad people leading them down the wrong path. It was one or two bad actors. In Japan, they don't even do that. It's all sort of sticking your head in the sand and pretending it didn't happen. And there's a lot of arguments to be made about the way Japanese culture is. It's all a big attempt to hide from stressful life with really, really, really cutesy stuff and sort of superficial stuff, and ignore the role of Japan in World War II, the role of Japan after the war. It was very, very, there's a lot of really interesting ways of looking at it, but they're adults, they know what the fuck they're doing, and they can just read anyone else's history on the Japanese. Like, I was curious once to see how the English see about the Irish during the Troubles and all that. And the English don't really teach about the Irish much. But what they do, they're very honest about it. Yeah, we did bad things to the Irish. That would be pretty cool if the Japanese said that about the Koreans. But they didn't. Hell, America's acknowledged what they did to the fucking Japanese immigrants. The Nissan. Saying that, I still want to go to Japan. I don't want to go to China. As much as I love the history of China, as much as I'd love to see the country, I do not want to go to China with the Chinese government. Especially because they probably wouldn't even let me in due to statements like that. Which is a shame, because there's a lot of really cool things in China. A lot of really cool things in Russia. Same principle. And what's this? Did he? Okay.
Today myself and James said we'd try make a fork in front of the tourists passing by. These two American lads were standing around for too long, so I told them I liked their style and put them to work. Now I had the lathe going, so I banged
Look how everyone has the same hats.
the quick handle, fast
I
with the
got one
hand
of them
plane
somewhere.
before drilling a hole for the tang. Quick coat of
tang.
beeswax before putting inertia to good use. Naturally, we had to test it, and we didn't have any marshmallows, so we said bread would be the next best thing. Now, although it was gorgeous, it was a bit bland at the same time, so one of the Bannon teas invited me back to one of the houses for some hand-churned butter. Here's
Jesus Christ, if I saw her, the first thing I'd be like is, she's a medieval
Bannon teas
peasant.
invited me back.
She's a medieval peasant.
Back to one of the houses for some hand-churned butter. Here's me nearly chipping a tooth, and here's me eating it properly this time.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
There was a TV crew filming as well today, so we had some live music, and James even put on his finest tunic for the occasion.
Tunic. Something tells me like a tunic of... Would it be that fine looking?
Next, someone showed up and let me play with their medium format camera, so that was cool. Had this Australian young lad called Matthew pop in for a visit. This courtyard is no place for idle hands. Stick around long enough and they will be put to work. Then it was up.
I'm okay with that. At least, you know, if you're going to be a tourist wandering around, at least clean up after yourself.
To McNamara's for a cool pint after a long day in the sun.
A cool pint? It's a stout, sir. Stouts are not cool. Stouts are room temperature. You want something cold, you get yourself a lager or an ale. A Guinness? Nah.
It's all happening here. Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays in Bunratty Castle.
Bunratty. That was one of the castles we were looking at last year to go to. We don't have the money for that. Well, I don't have the money for that. I have so much stuff I need to save up for. It'll be so... And even after I'm done with all the trips, even after the wedding next year, and even if I do go to Vancouver afterwards, that's a big if. I need a new fucking bed, and then maybe we can focus on upgrading the computer. It's the song that doesn't end. Here, Hank, teach us. 9 o'clock already? Yeah. I was actually going to start now, originally, and then go on till 11, but the game being, Steam being what it is. I've got to go up to the shop tomorrow. I want to have an early night. And I don't want to be hungry, so when in doubt, if you don't have any food, you know, go to sleep and then you can eat in the morning. Poverty and diets, they go hand in hand until you want to eat your own hands. Not yet. Maybe at the end of the month. Maybe when that's a much bigger number up there, then maybe I'll want to eat my own hands. I'm buying a lot. I'm actually going to show you guys tomorrow when I have it all unpacked. Like a month's worth of tuna and rice. How much that's going to look. I'm actually wondering if my fridge will have enough space. Damn, that'll be a lot of food. That won't be everything, I mean, but still. Hank looks a lot older here than he does in the previous one.
My coffee steam. Like, doesn't it have to be at like 100 degrees?
This is very annoying, so just get ready to hate everything I'm about to tell you. Temperature is just speed of molecules, so faster molecules are hotter molecules. But temperature is also the average speed of molecules. Some are going to be going faster and some are going to be going slower, and the faster ones are going to be able to leave the surface of your coffee. And that's actually how your coffee cools down a lot, is that the hottest molecules leave. This is actually easier at the surface than it is inside of the coffee. So it's easier to leave from the surface than to boil inside. Those extra hot molecules are going to leave, and they are now going to be water vapor. But that's not what you're seeing. Water vapor is invisible. It is a clear gas. If you see pure steam coming out of a steam pipe, what you're going to see is like wiggles of heat, no like cloudy like you're in the shower. Those hot molecules from the coffee are coming out and they're mixing with the cooler air in the room, and then they're all getting together to condense into tiny droplets, and that's actually what you're seeing.
My coffee steam.
That's indifferent. Like, that is just so close to steam to say it's fucking steam. Like, it might not technically be steam, but it's like steam enough. $44 million views of making chocolate from cacao seeds. Not enough people know how chocolate is made.
I can't.
Like, chocolate does not look like chocolate when it comes out. They think, oh, you just roast that and you throw that in.
I believe when I first shared this video of making chocolate, it got 44 million views.
Look at that.
You're supposed to ferment the seeds for 7 days. It's been 7 days since I fermented these cacao seeds. I'm gonna transform this spoiled, rotten, fermented cacao seeds and make chocolate.
Yep.
I actually ended up baking this at 400 degrees for 12 minutes. Once you remove these outer shells, you're left with cacao nibs. I blended the cacao nibs with some sugar and then added a little bit of coconut oil and blended it again. Freeze for about 30 minutes, and there you have real homemade dark chocolate. Subscribe for more recipes.
Probably be very bitter. Over here, like I said before, we do chocolate just so much better. So much better. Because if you want to go cocoa, you can get like proper cocoa. I'm probably gonna get the Lindt chocolate tomorrow. The Lindt chocolate, the 80% cocoa, or the one with sea salt. Just a nibble on stream with you guys. Have that with a cup of coffee. And it's delicious. But I've always preferred milk chocolate more myself. In America, you got that dark chocolate, the sort of Hershey's shit, and it's just not great, man. Not terrible, but put some flavor into it, for Christ's sake. What's this? Guess the color. Better be racist.
Color. よし、頑張ります。
Purple or green?
パープル。
Purple.
あ、違った。
Light blue or mint green?
ミントグリーン。あー、また違う。
Red or orange?
レッド。
She's such a cute voice, doesn't she?
Pink or white?
ホワイト。Every fucking time.
Oh, so much backlog still. Jesus. Tell you what. Right, that's for another time. That's for another time. Next time we'll probably finish it off for good. But the only way I can do that is to guarantee to do that is to have a good few more here. So I'm gonna prep 10 of these, and that will guarantee next time for us to be done. 2, 3. I'm a horse. Horse. Hashtag horse. Hashtag funny song. Hashtag cowboy. See where this goes. Vosh joke. Oh.
My ass is fat, my titties popping, my hands are feet, what? My feet are hooves.
Yeah.
My ass is fat, my feet clip clopping, on down the road, I am a horse.
He's a horse. That's the joke. The joke is a horse. Some of these things that I saved are fucking mid. I can't really add much to it other than a Vosh joke, and he's live right now, so that'll do.
Come here, buddy. I got some food for y'all. Y'all gonna have to share it though. We got a peek. Oh, you fake as hell. Damn, he just laughed in his face. Nah, he violated. Yo, he just laughed in his face. You gonna let that slide? Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, street foxes don't share. They share with their kids, but when they have when they see food, they just yeah. Same with swans. Oh no, swans are worse actually. They'll try to kill their own kids to get out a piece of bread. It's not very smart genetic wise. Never feed bread to swans. Look at the size of that fucker, and she looks pregnant too. Liger. Big old liger. That woman behind the screen, the glass there, does not look happy. The weird thing is, you could fit a whole 8-year-old in that belly. There's a joke there somewhere, I know it is, but that would just be a tragedy. Hold on, I didn't get rid of it. This is all my channel is now, is just stealing other people's content, not really adding much to it. So of course, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out links down below, and don't forget to throw me some money. I like money. And that bar needs to go blue, dabu debu doo die. If you're wondering about the rest of it, where to all go, it's still there, and it's staying there. That's all going towards YouTube Premium. The previous one, you guys actually reached it. It was fucking great. Very appreciative of it. With that, we should be good for YouTube Premium for the rest of the year. So no ads in the middle of videos. Not to say that we're going to be ad free completely, but you know. And before you say, oh, well, why don't you just get a VPN? That's going to cost money. So would it just be, in that case, the money going to a VPN? Which is it? And ad blockers are losing the war right now. If they change, then I'll change back. Because I was using an ad blocker. Yes, I was. Jesus, I'm not that crazy. If you want me to be looking at videos and shit on YouTube, I'm gonna have to be doing this. Little Red Riding Hood versus the Wolf. 1990 France. Okay. Let's see how horny this is out of 10, because a lot of these furry stuff has been getting horny. Like a lot of horny. Okay, there's a good start. Alright, there we go.
Le désir instantané.
Carte Noire. Drink it and you will become big and then kiss a dog. I don't see the logic in it. Like, does it help you fight through the day? Or does it help you fight off predators? Oh, it makes you an adult. Okay, so the first thing you do as an adult is fuck your fears away. Okay, that's a very French response. I can see it. I can see it. This. Alright. Bouncer. When ADR in movies is too obvious. I don't think we're going to look at a single video tonight. I think it's all going to be YouTube Shorts. Holy fuck. Yeah, I'm looking through all these now and it's all just... all the shorts.
Man, I find it really annoying in a movie like that when the ADR is just like way too obvious.
Yeah, what does ADR stand for again?
I think it's like automated dialogue replacement or additional dialogue recording. It's like when they go back and post and like change a bunch of the dialogue.
Oh, totally. It always throws me when they like so obviously re-recorded something, but then they added all those syllables so like it doesn't match the mouth.
He's got a very strong neck. Like, my God.
Mouth flaps?
Yeah, Chris, I always find that to be extremely obvious.
Or when there's the angle that's over someone's shoulder and you can see that they're talking, but the like mouth clearly doesn't match up.
Or like they want to adjust the actor's performance, but they just like Frankenstein together different sound bites from different takes.
Oops, I spilled my chips! Yeah, I catch those Frankenbites for sure.
Yeah, or there's some sort of like major external noise during production, like an airplane or wind or something, so like none of the audio is usable.
That really stands out to me.
Yeah, Chris. Man, I find it really...
ADR can be really distracting, but only if you're really paying attention. Like, a lot of things, if you've ever watched the DVD collection of Lord of the Rings, the breakdown of how so much of that film was made was 90% just, like, tricks. the amount of people they got in the background that were like extras elsewhere, and all the force projection and all that shit, the object projection. I do love that though, because like when you are watching a video, when you're watching me right now, you might know what's in my room, but you can't be guaranteed. So right now I could over here have, you know, an elk. There's an elk just over there. I don't, but I could. You don't know. For the record, my freshly turned over bed is over there right now, and it is starting to call me a little bit more. So I'm gonna watch another 3. Yeah, all right. We're gonna watch another 3 more clips, and then I will watch a video. But what? I don't know. Should be something that I transmogrify, alter in some way. I can't just be stealing content like this just constantly. Damn, the years have not been good on Ted Mosby. Boop, boop, boop. Oof. Damn.
My shoulder was in shambles because I didn't warm up before I played Beat Saber on Extra Plus, and you just did a standing double backflip. Why?
Yeah.
You different. You different. I ain't gonna lie. But on that first one, I thought your ankle had fell off the bone. But then you landed it and you walked off like you was a main character, like you did something cool. You did. You probably gonna get an old girl to be hot tilling on that thing.
Wow, that's the only time we're ever going to address the Hok Tui girl who's already yesterday's news. I'm gonna close my eyes and click on this. Oh hell yeah! So if I've mentioned this before, but there's a stereotype. First of all, damn. Second of all, there's a stereotype in the Hispanic community about Dragon Ball, and it's every time I see it, there's always a level of truth. Look at that shit. Every dude has a fucking hot girl in like a skimpy outfit on their lap. But you think that they'd be aware of that? You think the girls would be aware to be super cutesy and sexy? No. Goku's gotta reach Super Saiyan if he's gonna beat Frieza. Oh man, I was gonna hear what Gohan sounds like in Spanish. Actually, here. This is some... Oh, look, we do have a video after all. Wow. Alright. This is something I've been curious about. Because I loved the Gex games, particularly the third one, when I was a kid. They were something I'd never really experienced before, which was tons of references I understood. Plus, there was this live-action supermodel he would be dating. He would sometimes talk to, which, in hindsight, looks weird. It looks very sort of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Last Action Hero, Cool World vibe. But it's such a 90s idea that I hope they never bring Gex back proper. But I'm very okay with them remastering Gex.
I've been gone for some time. My name has echoed through the shadows.
Kinda.
all those games, thought to be lost in time, like tears in rain.
Yay, references. Yeah, look at that shit. I had a copy of a gaming mag that had Gex behind her, and she had her top off, and his hands were over her boobs, so you couldn't see anything, and she had like her arms over her head. Like, did she have like green like plasters on? Because that would be the only way I could really see her doing that. But they might have found a way around it. I don't know. Maybe they made her paint her boobs or something.
People keep asking if I'm back. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. Go to LRG for some GEX, baby.
Hell yeah. Pre-orders open. Well, alright. Will I play it? Is it for PC? Can't. So it's coming fall, and it's no, I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing it on every console. Seeing it on every. Oh, it's on Xbox, so yeah, it would be. Yeah, I might give that a go. I won't give a fuck about the first game, but the third one, hell yeah. Don't get me wrong, if I had a choice between Crash Bandicoot and Gex, it would always be Crash, but... Or Spyro, Mario, Sonic. Maybe Gex would beat Banjo-Kazooie, because I didn't have Banjo-Kazooie in my life to the same degree as some other people. But I will acknowledge Banjo-Kazooie is such a good game that it feels a bit bad for me to say that. The only a dog alive from the 90s. Oh yeah.
A lot of us remember the 90s, but only one dog does. Spike is the oldest known dog still alive today who was born in the 1990s. But not everyone believes him. Last year, Guinness World Records recognized his significance, but then just a few months ago, they stripped him of his title. In case you missed it, there has been huge drama this year.
Hey! Boglin Chronicles just, not Chronicles, Boglin Reacts just got back to me. Looks like we'll be seeing them in August again. Hell yeah.
In the oldest dog category, truthers have begun questioning the title holder for longest living dog, Bobby. They say that Bobby's final age of 31 years is hard to believe and regardless has not been verified with enough certainty. Now, after an investigation, Guinness World Records agreed. They implemented new standards under which none of the oldest known dogs today count. They say the next true record holder will probably need to be a dog microchipped since near birth. So Spike was once a furry tether between us and a bygone time. But today, he's a tall tale, like Paul Bunyan or John Henry. Whether you believe in him or not, his power comes not from fact, but from faith and mythology.
Technically, he is a connection to a past that a lot of people watching this right now, well, not this channel, I don't get that sort of young audience, but people watching Michael here would not be alive for. The 90s... I was actually watching this earlier today. I was just scrolling, and there was this guy who was saying he wished he was a little bit older so he could be alive to experience a lot of the things that he was a little bit too young to experience. And I feel like that in the 90s, because I was born in 88, so I was only starting to being able to like really appreciate things right at the cusp of the decade. Beforehand, the 90s was a fun time for me. I went to Disneyland. I got my PlayStation. I went on many other holidays beside Disneyland. I got thrown. I got thrown out of the back of a boat on a rope, and then it would be flung off, and then my parachute opened up, and I paraglided, and it was a fun decade. I went to a big fair by the airport one time, and there was this guy dressed up as a candy bar, timeout bar, and which they brought back now, and he dropped a bunch of them, and he just kind of shrugged, and I just grabbed a bunch and I ran away. It was good shit. Good shit. Came back with 14 timeout bars. Yeah. Yeah, the 90s was a fun time. I'm sure at the time I had a different opinion of it. School is sucky universal. Here. Once again, I'm going to close my eyes, and whatever one I pick with the last video, last of the side hustle, the bookmarks, and then we'll watch a video or two until at least for another half hour. Oh, I remember her. The square hole. Gandalf, you shall not pass. Yeah. It should be oh, Gaindolf. Yes, there we go.
Whatever you're eating right now probably shouldn't go in your face hole.
Which hole should it go in?
It goes in the square hole.
She can't ever escape this. Everyone's the joke for her has gone to the point now where it's kind of looped back around. It will go into the square hole though. Everything will go into the square hole. Which sounds so sexual. Alright. Let's start by first of all seeing if Boglin Chronicle has anything new. Because of course I'm going to go straight to Cobes. He's an easy win. And no, because I want to keep this till Friday. So, he's not an easy win. Well then, what do we do? What do we do? Oh, Troy. Troy just uploaded a fucking video. Well, we should go and check that out, shouldn't we? My problem. Gonna mute this. Oh yeah. Damn, I thought my treadmill was starting to show wear and tear. Of course, Troy is a that's gonna cause like so much like mold to form. I mean, it's moving so much lettuce every day. I can't imagine how bad that place must smell sometimes. Jesus. Well, if Boglin Chronicles can't help me, maybe Graveyard can. Because we haven't checked in on Shani and Rev in a hot minute, which has been a good thing for our mental health. That means we've just built up a little bit of fat for the winter, and it's time to resolve that. Shani looks terrible here, but for her, she actually looks pretty good. That's so sad. The newest one, 9 hours ago.
Hey guys, how you doing?
The information here is not for education and informational purposes and should not be construed as medical advice. Always consult a qualified healthcare professional regarding any medical concerns or questions you may have. You should be aware of misinformation. Ensure that any health-related information crowd is reputable source and backed by science. Okay. I will say that red font was probably not the best idea for this, but whatever.
I wanted to do a Bible video. That really has been on my heart to do. I'm gonna take you in a part of my Bible where I wrote shit, and it's just.
You've just besmirched the Bible. Okay, off to some good blasphemy start there.
Asking questions to God. That's sort of what my idea was. That it's not I'm
questioning an almighty being that you must obey without question. Like, you're literally fucking up being a Christian right now, man.
Judging God on anything, ever. That's number one. No, I don't do.
No, you are. You see, when you ask questions of God, you are questioning God. So, you don't get to do that. You must obey without question. Muslims understand this. You submit to God's will. That's it. You don't get to ask questions, because that's what us atheists do. And that's how we lead to truth, which is that God isn't real. But you don't get that power. You get that taken away from you, along with so many other things, including a chin.
Do that. I have questions. That's all. Like the Cain and Abel story, to me, is extremely interesting in the fact that you had Cain that slew his brother, but he gets marked in the head with protection and avenged sevenfold. That's where the thing avenged sevenfold comes from, is Cain. And if he murdered his brother, like, why the hell did the Lord bless him?
It was so that other people, if I remember right, he did that so other people wouldn't hurt him and put him out of his misery. So no matter what, he always has to wander around in pain. Which is interesting, because you'd think that this would disprove a place like hell existing in the Bible. Because hell doesn't exist to Jews. They don't believe that hell exists. They don't believe that heaven exists, other than that's where God lives, and you return to God. Either way, I think it's Jews believe like the secession of the end of self happens when you die, and your spirit returns to God, which I always saw as like reverse osmosis. He just sucks in a bit of himself, which was you, and in the process, I guess he learns something, which again is interesting. But then again, can he learn anything? Because if he has to learn anything, then he's not perfect. But like the Cain and Abel story, you'd think that he'd be more complaining about the fact that he punished, like he put them into a position like that in the first place.
It's weird. It was always weird to me. But then you realize and find out from further writings, so like the Quran will tell you this too, that Cain was repentant. He did not have mercy.
No. It wasn't that he was repentant, yay or nay. It was just that he was going to get punished. That was the point of it. It's always about obeying God. All the Abrahamic stories make this abundantly clear. Don't question God. Period. That's it. It is brutal. It is harsh. Lot's wife turning to salt. Sodom and Gomorrah being wiped off the face of the earth. For the record, Sodom wasn't wiped off the face of the earth for sodomy. It was because of hospitality. The great sin was that they weren't hospitable people. It's all bullshit all the way down, but even in its own logic, it makes no sense. As Ned Flanders once pointed out, it's the stuff that contradicts the other stuff. So is Rev gonna go into a situation where he's gonna be like, oh well, if you're repentant, then things are good for you? Well, if that was the case, man, you're still a bad Christian because God hasn't helped you, has he? He's harmed you. Look at Shani over there.
He did not have a bad feeling in himself when he slew Abel. And I'm not sure I have to go back to Genesis. I should know this, like off the top of my head. I really should, but I'm confessing that I'm not right now remembering. If it says that Cain had sympathy, Cain had remorse.
Well, the Quran might say that, but what does the Torah say, and what does the King James Bible say? Because it's all, it'll all be mistranslated and misunderstood.
Cain had remorse for slaying Abel. So if that's the case, that would make sense why God marked him and said, whoever touches him will be avenged sevenfold.
Yeah, but again, that makes no sense because he still committed murder. He just feels sorry about it. It's the joke of like, you can be Hitler, but on your deathbed you'll repent and you'll go to heaven. It's bullshit. Why would you worship anything that does that? Why would you do that? That sounds horrible. That sounds like a monster. God, if he exists, is a monster. So maybe don't worship a monster. Worship Cthulhu. At least he's honest about being a monster. Cthulhu's awesome. In the literal sense.
But Cain is the seed of the Canaanites. Okay? Like Cain was a good guy, sure. He's an anti-hero, I guess you could say. Cain is like an anti-hero because
he's Deadpool or Blade.
Was blessed after spilling the first blood. It's wild. And Israel was always told the Hebrews don't mate with Canaanite women. You can go to my cousin. Literally, yeah, they were inbreeding. You can live.
Yeah. Unlike now, where Israel definitely doesn't have some weird feelings about intermarriage. Zionism is a fucking blight.
Literally go to Laban. Go to Laban, find 2 of his daughters and take them. Do not take a Canaanite woman. Same thing for Samson. Samson was fucking with Delilah. Wrong. Bad. Canaanite woman.
I was gonna say something, but how he said the word woman was so fucking incelled in its it just no, that's perfectly fine. Woman.
Bad. They were never supposed to do that shit with Canaanite women for some reason. I don't know why. That's the curse, maybe. Cain's curse. I don't know.
The world's first ethno-state.
That's some shit that's in the weeds that I don't fully understand yet. Totally. But that's it's really tribal stuff. Anyway,
No. If it's God, it's important. And you have to worship it completely. By the way, are you using mixed fabrics? That's a sin. Shellfish? Sin. Animal with cloven hooves? Sin. Have you ever spilt your seed on the ground? I know you have. Because you recently got into some trouble with a girl from Norway, didn't you? Sin. Like, it's a D&D setting with like magic, the rules of magic and like the background lore. That is usually less arbitrary than Christian or hell any Abrahamic values. I'm sure other religions too, but I don't know them nearly as well. It's all bullshit. It's whatever you want. One thing I gotta say about the Protestants they did right, they just said, fuck it. Like, just Jesus. That's all you need to know. Yeah, kinda.
The reason I'm making this video
Kinda.
is that it's really necessary for everybody to understand, and I wave at everybody. How you doing, guys?
Hi, guys.
That
I'm waving.
it may seem as a simple act of just sending one little clip of Shannon's mother, but I don't think you guys understand. I know.
Oh, did she see this clip again of her mother saying, "Oh, I disavow her because she's mentally ill and she needs help and I can't help her anymore," and you know, she thinks that she's a victim, but she's not, because her mother threw her under the bus, and it was glorious to see. If only Cobes' dad could do that, you know? Only he could cut him off, but, you know, Mango's not here, so I'm not ready to go into that diatribe for the trillionth time. But Shani's mom understood. Shani was like, fuck it, this shit.
Some of you do. But we don't have any friends left from the old days. Like, none of them talk to us anymore. So there's
because you're fucking users. You're toxic as shit. If I befriended them tomorrow, they would be hounding me for money and fucking vindication. That's another thing. They would need me for a vindication so badly. Not because I have clout, but because I'm just in their area. Jared would do the same because he's no real friends. Hobbes is too paranoid. He'd be the opposite, and he's not that desperate. He has people in his life who would listen to him. But even then, Cobes, if you're a guest in Cobes' house, he will offer you that terrible swamp water he calls mead. Because he needs people to say that this is alright food. Yeah, I know how to make food. When I have guests over, I make them a cup of tea. You know? The last time I cooked for like a day for one was Lady. I made her like a big platter of like breakfast foods, and we just devoured that in pleasant silence for ages. That's not a flex. It's just polite. I don't need her to go like, this is the greatest sausage sandwich I've ever had. Fuck no. She did it better when I was up there. She had this German version of that. Like these crazy ass pastes and stuff. It was good. Did you get the name of that? I'm still chatting to her, by the way.
Really nobody. I guess you don't understand. The level of trauma that Shani was put through by her mother.
Oh, yeah. No one suffered.
It's on a level
with
that
Shani.
it's really
Not
hard
you,
to describe.
Not your children.
Okay, the
not your
stuff
animals.
that's involved with that. So even if you're well-meaning and you're saying, I want to show you what other people are doing to you, you are triggering something massively emotionally.
Shani has to deal with the fact that Shani is a horrible person, and a horrible person. And you only get 2 out of those 3. But you're quick. I think it's fair to say that, you know, you're also kind of a horrible person. You deserve each other. You deserve to be broken, shattered people. But at least admit it. At least fucking admit that you're just dog shit human beings. Way more than the average dog shit human being. Which is most of us on some days. I can't remember the last time I ever heard anything positive about Rev or Shani.
Painful.
Like,
when you send the video and she sees her face and hears her voice.
She can't hear
you
her
need
own
to
voice.
Understand this.
She can't
this
hear
really,
her own voice.
Like, wrecked her day
but why
today.
Is she on?
And I know the guy that sent it is a night. I know he's got a good heart. Oh man, Deanna, you listened to Seven Dust This Life? I told you. You cried. It's not possible not to. Because it's a beautifully written song that's about a new child coming into the world, and that's gorgeous, always.
Yeah.
What's
to
up,
your old
Tukey? How you
kids
doing?
that aren't around
What's
anymore.
Up? I'm glad you listened to that at the end. That's awesome. Seven Dust. Listen to.
He looks sad and tired all the time. I can't remember the last time I've seen him really happy. But I know, unlike Shani, he has the means to feel happy. Going back what I said earlier about the manosphere, the way they're never happy even when they're punching down. Rev does have genuine joy and love in his heart. It's just, it's not directed towards anything good. You can love wrong things. I guarantee you right now, there is a morbidly obese motherfucker in like an all-you-can-eat buffet sitting in a booth, and he can barely even sit in, and he's loving the food. Not just this is great food, but he's actually in love with the process of it. That's probably not healthy, because he'll probably have a heart attack before he gets back to his car. But he loves it.
If you don't like metal, then you're gonna not like most of it. What's up, Jess?
Jess?
But there's some Angel Sun. Listen to the song Seven Dust Angel Sun. What's up, Stacy? You'll love that song too, because it's not most Seven Dust is like that. It's heavy metal, but they're
you could turn that. You could turn that into a like a donation goal.
Seven Dust is like that.
I'm gonna watch this.
Heavy metal.
I gotta have a bath before crawling into bed. So when I'm in the tub, I'll probably watch this. The true history of the deep dish pizza. The horror.
But they're considered new metal, but I think they're beyond that. I like to think of them as alternative metal, because the writing of the songs
right
is
over
so
my
good.
head. Not a clue.
But anyway, back to what I was saying. Creed with arms wide open, absolutely. That's good stuff. You like that?
Some generic shit.
Yeah,
I
that's
know that.
not heavy, you know.
I first heard that, I think, on like WWF in one of those sort of promo ads they used to have. They used to have like these sort of filler shows in between the actual wrestling nights, and like it would be like just an update on like who wrestled who came out on top, who's on the roster. This is the website you can go to get like tickets for the next WrestleMania. It was very like B squad, C squad, but in between that it would have these sort of music videos, and one of which was Creed. I always remember like Triple H like doing his pose up on the corner to that.
But I get you. What's up, Enorma? Okay, so
Enorma. I like that.
The fact of the matter is that this has affected Shani so much today
that she
feels at this point like she doesn't want to do this anymore again.
Good.
That it could be
never, ever come back. Ever come back, Shani. Ever come back. You don't need to be. Rev can do everything for you. You can just... I don't know what she does all day, every day, other than complain. But she can do it in bed. She doesn't have to get up and out of do anything, because he wipes her ass. Now, she's too fat to do anything else. So she can just fuse with the fucking, like, bed. She can make Brett Keane feel like the healthiest man alive. And you can do all the heavy lifting on camera.
Guys, that's what I'm telling you. You do not ever send media of any kind of Shannon's mother, father, sister, brothers, Chris.
I wonder what will happen now.
Doug, if you ever made a whatever. Any people from her past?
Ooh.
I think the best thing that you could the best thing that you could do for her if you love her and care for her,
send her money,
is delete them from your memory and don't come to us with anything. He didn't mean harm. I think he was trying to show her. Yeah, that's right. I know, Deanne.
So no one from her past. That's a big list. Is is she at the point now where she can actually hear herself talk? Because I don't listen to myself talk. I don't go back and watch. I know some streamers do it. I can't go back and watch these streams once they're uploaded unless there's a specific reason, right? A very specific reason. And recently, Dragsaw had a clip from the podcast up on his podcast, and it was so weird hearing myself. And I always forget this. There is so much echo in this room that there has to be a way I can deal with the echo in this room. It is so off-putting. I can't, for example, I can't take the mic into the closet there because, well, the green screen. And I don't really have like bedding and shit like that I could muffle myself with. Maybe, I don't know, I could get like a cone and put it around here. But again, money. I just don't have money right now for these sort of things.
I agree with that. I know that's what it is. But people need to understand that just seeing this woman's fucking face does it. Maybe she needs to get out. Yeah, I know that people have said that. I'm not.
Oh, he's not going to even finish it because if she hears it in the other room, she'll start having a freak out.
It's a way to induce PTSD, and she's going through enough. Exactly, Matt. That's right.
She doesn't have... The PTSD is all from her. Everything she's ever done is her doing. Okay? Except for her mental health. That was just a roll of fucking dice of biology.
That's getting pinned. I hope people could see the replay of chats, you know. Breaks are a good thing. Jess. It's not good.
No, it's not good, man. But
and
that's
I'll
what you
also
get for
say
living with her.
for this, real quick, because there's blessed people. You just give from the kindness of your heart. If you want to put something in my till,
There we go. There we go. Dude, just have the fucking stream goal above you. And although he is using Instagram, so these are like taken from his Instagram, I think. If there are any blessed people in my chat and want to throw something into my till, very much appreciate.
Do that on the things on our different. All of our things are on the channel page. So if you can, we love you. Thank you. If you can't, it's
all
fine.
Of mine are in the doobly-doo.
On replay
below.
Chat does not show. Yeah, that's right. That's what I thought, Krista. Thank you. I hope she feels better too soon. I do too,
when
Jess.
has she
like
ever
so
felt
much, you know.
Good?
I
when
hate
she
seeing her in
squandered all
pain
your
over
money?
this bullshit. It's horrible stuff. It's not something that...
I'm still so impressed that they pissed away so much money so quickly. I don't think I could pull that off as quickly. I could obviously pull it off, but I'd have to like really be like just going on constant trips, and we'd have so much computer shit. I'd still have like, I'd have all the consoles, I'd have all the games, I'd have I would have had like, forget this shitty chair, probably have a VR rig. I'd be a real streamer boy.
Her mother did her irreparable, permanent, mental, and physical damage from neglect.
Did she just give her the keys to like the walk-in freezer as a kid?
Physical damage too. Her knee is fucked up because she had an accident in the Colorado River white rafting, and her parents just said, "You're fine." Her knee was like necrotic black looking, and they were just like, "No, you're fine."
Okay, that's shitty if true, but what about all the things that happened after she left? You know, like, I don't think her parents are the reason why she has the face. She's got the fat pocket in her forehead or like her teeth, or what's going on now with her limbs. And that's her being sedentary. I mean, I've got my sciatica because I'm fucking sedentary. You see, I own up to that shit. It isn't because, oh, someone bullied me in high school. Somebody, a girl I liked didn't respond on Tinder. I don't know, the fucking movie I wanted to watch didn't come out on time and was pushed back. No, like, this was all me being a slob and a fat ass. Just like I'm losing weight is also down to me. It's why today my sciatica sucks, because I didn't do enough exercise.
That's physical neglect. They neglected that. There were other things that I'm sure that could be brought up, but it's not the point.
Why did you bring it
It's not
up?
the point. I don't have to tell you the level of depravity that she went through with these people.
Did they take turns with her with a bottle? Like, no. He's not that I'm aware of. I wouldn't be surprised if Shani has been hurt in some way like that, though. I've never pretended to be like a Shani and Rev expert. There's someone I occasionally go into. I find like pick and mixing the choice bits be far more interesting than listening to hours and hours and hours of them talking for the sliver of information that I could then be like, actually, if you go back 5 years ago, you said this contradicts that. Other people are like that. I won't say names, but there are people who will wake up in the morning and wonder what Shani and Rev are up to. I can't handle that. They can do them. That's just not me, man. I can't even do that for Cobes. I couldn't even do that for fucking Christian.
People to let you know, just don't send anything like that ever.
So
Never, ever, 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 ever. I'll get you the address. I promise, Deanna. I promise. Okay? I
don't want to end tonight's show on this. I want to end on something positive. But I also don't want to nick anything for a future stream. So for one last time, let's have a look inside my backlog. The reason why we're here. Tinder for pigeons. Hell yeah. Alright.
So just like on Tinder, you can show a pigeon photos and see which one elicits a courtship response. And you can manipulate those images to accentuate certain traits. Maybe make the eyes bigger or that. I mean, if you have Photoshop open.
I don't know, that looks like one sexy bird to me.
You might as well go for it. Anyway, it turned out that the eyes didn't matter so much, but they did like a nice-sized beak. But here's the thing, though. It didn't matter where...
Some fucking SCP shit.
It was. You could swap the beak and the eye and they'd still be into it. And you might be thinking, if pigeons can get into a bird with a beak where its eyes should be, it's probably not so visually sophisticated. Alright, so let me ask you, which one of these is a picture of breast cancer? You don't know, but you can train a pigeon to tell you. Turns out they have sensitivity to patterns and visual relationships that's on some AI level.
Damn. That pigeon made me feel very dumb. Also hungry. I've had pigeon. I wouldn't recommend it. It's very greasy, but yeah, I've had it. No food to me tomorrow though. But I get to have breakfast in McDonald's. So that's the trade-off. And then I don't eat anything on Thursday except for what I ate today. And then on Friday, I'm going to make some hot dogs for the drinking stream. Then rice and tuna until Tuesday. Then we repeat the process, only with no drinking stream. That number is going to go as high as 30, 31, 36. I think 35 or 36. That's my goal. Which will fucking suck. Because right now, I'll be okay. Biggest problem I have is my sciatica, my diet. Sciatica I can keep down, and, you know, other than days like this, where I have to just ration my food out a little better, it's fine. Problem is on the after next week, I'll start to feel, I don't know if I'll start to feel like an urge to drink. That will be a bitch. You kind of go over an initial hump of like a withdrawal, and then you're kind of good, but it's always in the background. Now, obviously, I'm not stopping drinking. I'm going to be going on and from the 5th of, well, this Friday until the 5th of August. And then I will be, I'll be playing it by ear from there. So if I do drink, A, I better have the fucking money for it. And B, I better, you know, I better make it justify. I better give it, like, I can't just, like, drink on the 6th, you know? To that end, if I don't finish that bottle of JD on the Friday, I'm getting a good mixer with it. I can't have it straight. Oh, I can't have it straight. I'll get a good mixer for it. If there's anything left, it's going in the sink. There will be no temptation. I have a lot of plans for my money. None of it involves alcohol. Though I will be appreciating alcohol in September when I'm there for the fan meetup. I actually have to get in touch with Raisin about her about that trip. I need to work out the deets. And of course, if anyone's in keep saying Seattle, that's next year, and that's a big maybe. If anyone's in Philly, don't be a stranger from the 11th to the 18th. Okie dokie. So I'm going to go now and put on the water for a bath, and then afterwards I'm going to go to sleep. Then I'm off to the shop tomorrow. Get my big old shop. Gotta go to the bank too. Fuck's sake. Then when I'm back, I will go probably straight on over to Twitch and play some Far Cry with you guys. Now, we're finished a lot of the busy work, so I might actually try to beat Far Cry 3. We'll see. But I'll try to make this work. And then I'll be back here for hopefully the last of the backlogs. There's still stuff left over, but that stuff I want to keep for like Friday and Saturday. Anyway, Thursday, let's see. Schedule. What do I have planned for Thursday? I'm gonna be starving again on Thursday. Yay. Homeworld. I'll give you something else. Maybe on YouTube. And Friday is a drinking stream. And Saturday there's no YouTube, but there is Final Fantasy X over on Twitch. And then Landon on Sunday, which I also might do some YouTube. Okay. Hope you guys had fun. Alright, it was quick. It took my mind off many things, although I can't say it took my mind off food. Oh, very important. If you have low blood sugar, you know, due to a diet and all that shit, don't put a bath on with too much heat. You know, let your body readjust, because That is some fainting material right there, let me tell you. Let yourself cool off before getting out of the bath, or let the bath be not too hot. I love me a hot bath, but anyway. Procrastination Nation. I'm going to be streaming more or less every day. I'm not going to be... They're not all going to be winners. This was hardly a loser unless I got a copyright claim. But, yeah.